Okay, so now that it has imported, you can left click to select it and drag it out of the way a little bit. And all we want is the arms, not the rest of it, to be perfectly honest. So I'm going to grab a box this time. Left click and hold to drag it out. And I'm going to just make it big enough that it overlaps all of the beefy guy except for the bit I want. So I'm going to rotate it like so. And again, here's another place where you can use the handy dandy arrow keys to make your life a little bit easier. You want to make sure you get all the other bits except for the bit that you want. So just looking, making sure nothing's poking out. That looks good to me. So then I'm going to drag a box over both to select them both. Then click group. And when it's red, you gotta wait, of course. And now I have a singular arm. You may be wondering, what am I doing with this singular arm? Well, I will show you. So, let's say I didn't like this design that I have here. So I'm gonna get rid of this, I'm gonna get rid of this, I'm gonna get rid of this. I want to do something with this weird arm bit that I have here. So I'm gonna lay it flat, because it would be a little bit of an awkward spinner otherwise. Well, as flat as I can get it, pretty much. And just pull it down using the black cone in the middle there. And arrow keys a little bit. And that looks pretty cool, actually. So, again, I gotta keep in mind size. So this guy's 38 millimeters, which is almost 4 centimeters by itself. And then there's the ring on top of that. So from here to here, you can kind of count each of these tiny little squares is 1. And then each of the big ones is a centimeter. So I'm thinking there's good. And then I'm gonna just quickly line that up, a bit more center. There we go. And then just like with the shape that we designed from scratch, you want a hole that's 60 for the sides and 22.6 for each of these dimensions, like so. And I'm just gonna line those up again. So line up. And then this needs to line up with this guy. So like that should be perfect. Then select that. And oh, another way that you can select more than one object, I'm not sure if I mentioned this before, is you hold down shift and then you click. Like so. And there we go. Uh-oh. Looks like we missed a bit down there. That's okay. We have a nice handy dandy undo button right up here. And you gotta wait while it's red. We don't want to ruin all of our work so far, so you gotta be patient. And oh yeah, the cylinder didn't cover it all. So in that case, I'm gonna click on the cylinder and angle the camera so I can see that cone again. Just click and drag it down. There we go. That should do. I'm gonna shift click, then group. That's much better. And now, just like before, you can duplicate, rotate. We want 180 degrees. And then just grab it and get it lined up. So I like to use the arrow keys so that way I don't have to worry about it being too far to the left or too far to the right. I can just make sure it just goes straight down and just get it right on that ring. Maybe a little bit further down. That's better. Now, shift click to select both, group, and you can just eyeball this if you want, but I'm just showing you how to get it just right if you want to be really precise about it. So now I'm going to click and drag to select everything, and then align again, and then click on this guy, and then click on this guy, and that makes sure that the ring is perfectly in the middle between these two guys. And now I can duplicate, and then this is the one. Rotate, and the magic number is 90 degrees if you want it to be a cross-shaped one like that, but I want it to be like a tri-spinner, and so that magic number there is 120. Perfect. And then if I press duplicate again, look at that. Isn't that cool? I think it's cool. So this guy would need a print with something to hold up his like thumbs and stuff, but I still think it could be worth it, because man, does that look cool. Or does it not look cool? It's a little tall for the ball bearing, but we can squish it down a little bit if we want, or we could keep it the way it is. I think I'm going to squish it, so I'm going to just select all these and just take that height, click on the little dot and change that to 6, and raise the height so it's not below the surface. And there we go. That looks pretty cool to me. You know what, I'm gonna actually flip this, so I'm gonna select everything, group, gotta be patient. The more detail there is in something, the longer this might take. So if it's basic shapes, those are real quick, but if it's something with like little thumbs and crevices, it'll take longer. I'm gonna click flip, and what I'm gonna do, see, is it this one? Yeah, that way I can see the thumbs, it's thumb up. So that looks pretty cool now. I think it does. And you can see it's a little bit lower on this side, but that's because the thumb is that way too. But yeah, so that's another way you can design a spinner from scratch. Well, sort of from scratch. We took these wonderful beefy arms and made a spinner using it.